Hello. Welcome to ManHound Sound Sessions. I'm your host, Bill Wardlow. My guest today, Travis Obermeyer. Travis is one of those guys that when he's around, you just can't help but have a good time. He and Jimmy Klepper came over together to each do an episode of the podcast, and we just had a blast that day. The beers were flowing, the bullshit was a-flying, and I really enjoyed myself. So I'm just going to get right to it. Here's my interview with Travis Obermeyer. Hey Travis, welcome to the podcast, sir.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
It's going well. How'd you get started playing?
Well, I remember being, I was probably 12, 13 years old, and I remember listening to a lot of Neil Young and Jimi Hendrix and all that, and for some reason, I always liked to sing. I'd always be sitting there, and my mom would try to put me to sleep at night and, try to get me and my brother to go to bed, and I'd just be laying in my bed singing. She would yell at me, Travis, stop singing. And then one day I just wanted to play guitar. And so I asked my mom, my stepdad at the time, I said I wanted to play guitar. And so my stepdad, he ended up buying me it was the first one I got was a little blue, I think it was my first act electric guitar from Walmart or something. And I started learning a couple of cover songs, learned System of a Down on there, and learned a couple different things. And then I started to, figure out how to play stuff on my own. No one ever taught me how to play anything except for maybe my neighbor, I think, who was also starting off on guitar. He taught me a couple of different chords. So I started to put stuff together around 13, 14 years old on my own, and I didn't really know what to do or how to write, since I didn't know sheet music or anything like that. But and then Jimmy and I had hung out a couple of times when that was about the same time that him and Thomas started actually writing songs. And so then him and I wrote a song together.
That's Jimmy and Thomas from See You in the Funnies.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, Jimmy and Thomas from See You in the Funnies. Definitely check them guys out. They're definitely worth checking out. Hit you in the feels real hard. But yeah, so when I first started playing music, it was just the basics of me learning chords and wanting to do something with it, but not knowing where I was going to go with it, basically.
So did they put you on the track of?
Well, I actually played with the Funnies for a little while. I kind of went my own way eventually. I was just doing harmonies, and they wanted me to play bass, and I wasn't really into playing bass so much, and so well, if you're gonna do harmonies, you need to at least have play an instrument maybe. So, and it just wasn't about playing bass, and everything was kind of all there already, So I went my own way, started writing my own music, and of course I still write with Jimmy sometimes, and even then we still wrote songs together.
When did you write your first song?
Well, my first song, I want to say, was I was probably 16 years old, I think, maybe 15 or 16 years old, and I wrote this song. I remember some of the lyrics. I'm not going to quote them necessarily but it was kind of an emo song, because I was into that kind of stuff too at the time. It was an emo music, and AFI and The Used and all kinds of weird stuff. And so my first song was around then, about 13 years old, 14 years old. And it was it was okay, it was good, but then I only got better from there, I guess.
Nice. When did you get in the direction that where you're at now? Because it's very different from
Yeah,
the emo
it's
stuff
very
that you're talking
different
about.
from. I mean, I still write like Jimmy said. I still like. I'll write sad songs, because the fact that like that's there's something about the feeling that captures people's attention that makes them feel the same way because they've been through when you've been through a rough time or a rough patch. It's easier to feel connected to that than it is to like when you're happy and everyone's happy, they're always feeling those same happy feelings. So it's like, well, when you're sad, you have a certain sad feeling to connect to relate to. um I don't know, shortly after that, about 14 years old, 15, 16, something like that, I started to basically um get in my head that I needed to write about real stuff and not about fiction stuff because we did a lot of goofy hip hop stuff that was like almost fictional, stuff that we come up with. And then when I started to like really write about stuff that was happening in my life, then I started to like feel a lot more confident about what I was saying and what I was singing and how I was singing it. And so like my vocals just got better as I was like actually putting my emotion and my heart into it.
Nice. So, when did you come around to the sound that you're
Well,
playing now?
when I got comfortable with my hearing my own voice, I recorded my own voice and guitar several times, and I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to that because like really don't like I would sit there in my room record for hours on end by myself and I would get almost all the way through the song and just like, damn it, now I got to redo it. I'd be like almost at the end of it, and
that's
then like,
recording in general.
yeah, I know. So that's when I first realized what it was all about. And so then I realized what I wanted my voice to sound like because I was hearing it over and over and over again. So I realized that, like, okay, well, I know what I can do. I know. But at that point, I just still didn't even know what I could all the way do because I hadn't gotten that good yet.
But it's a choice.
Yeah.
You you purposely set out the sound the way you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely make, I would say, like, I kind of like maybe put a little bit of a twang on it because, like,
It's a unique sound.
I've always liked so like my influences were like Neil Young and stuff like that. And like when I grew up, I always wanted to like when I was young, I always wanted to sound something sort of like Neil Young or something like that. And it's like I don't want to try to sound like anybody else, but I want my direction of music to go in my own like um my own way.
I
So
think you're achieving that.
I appreciate that.
It's unique and it's a different sound. You immediately go, well, that's Travis.
I mean, is it like my voice that's just different, or is it just like
Just your songwriting style
and my voice?
and your voice, and yeah, it's a unique sound that it's nice that you purposely set out to sound like that.
Yeah, but I also subconsciously sound like that too because,
Well,
like,
I
I
mean,
know
you've
that
only got so much choice,
right.
really,
Sometimes
how
I'll
you
be
sound.
singing and I'll just be like, "Whoa, I didn't mean to sound so redneck, but I just do because I am."
Just because I am. What's your process for writing?
My process for writing, man, is a lot of times like sometimes it'll just come with a simple joke with somebody. I'll just be joking about something, and like, and that's what I love is like being able to um, write something off of a funny joke or something like that because a lot of times like I will write the guitar part first or I'll play or I'll just like strum the guitar different chords, whatever chords it may be, try to put a melody to it without any words at all, just hum something to it or just sing random words, and then sometimes those random words will stick and I'll keep them. And sometimes they just, you know, I don't like any of the words and I just like the melody, so I'll just kind of come up with different words and then I'll make that end up being something. But then sometimes like you said, it's like not every not everything's gonna be 100% good every time you write it. So it's like, but when I'm writing, I beat myself up, and that's why I have writer's block because of I'll like try to think of something good, but I'm overthinking it too much,
Right.
and then I just won't end up stuck and not finishing it.
So is that your typical process then to come up with
Yeah,
some chords
it's usually just like I've a couple times I've written a poem and then put it to music, but most of the time it is just playing guitar and then just like matching the way my voice sounds to the guitar and then throwing words into that exact melody. And then whatever I like, I keep, and if I don't like it, then I just like write something else.
Nice. So you mentioned writer's block. How do you get through that?
Just throw the notebook on the ground and walk away for a little bit.
Do you throw a complete fit and jump up and down? And
I mean, I don't get too like. I do get mad about it in my own head because I don't want to have writer's block. I'm like, I want to be able to write something good. Sometimes here lately I've been having a lot of luck with like I think it's just like when you go through certain phases in life, there's certain things to write about. There's more to write about if you go through more. But I mean, recently I've had like 2 or 3 good song ideas, and one of them is pretty much all the way done. I just want to maybe put some finishing touches on it. And the mailbox. That's what I call that song, mailbox. It's a fictional story about an old guy. I feel like that just like doesn't care anymore, and just like he's letting everything go, and he's just like he's tired of hearing things about his old lady and old lady bitching at him and
so
all
where's that
stuff.
come from? Did you just
Just
completely
out of
make up
thin
the
air.
character and it's just clear out of thin air?
Just clear out thin air. I was hanging out with my friend's house, and like we was all a bit hungover, and we was hanging out in the living room, and I saw a bunch of people still sleeping on the floor, and I started just kind of messing around on these chords. They're like simple, easy chords, that I play all the time, just in a different way. And so I said one line, and after that one line, I just kind of went on from there. And then after that song, I've written a couple more that are almost done too. And it kind of makes me really happy that I've got past the writer's block in the past couple months, because it really sucks when you want to play something and you want to do something and you can't.
For sure. Yeah, that really sucks.
But it's overall, I have fun with it, so that's the main thing.
That is the main thing. Let's take a break and have you play Mailbox.
All right.
I never go to check my mailbox. There ain't never nothing good in there. My newspaper's piled on the sidewalk, but I'm too tired to care. My girlfriend's been talking my ear off, and I'm wishing that she wasn't there. She's telling me to shave my beard off. Maybe that'll get her out of my hair. Her dog's been shitting in my litter box, so the cat's been pissing on the stairs. But I'll crack another beer and burn one, thinking about how life's not fair. Life's not fair. Life's not fair. I don't care. Life's not fair. Life's not fair. I don't care. Life's not fair. My job ain't getting any easier, and this project is stressing my mind. And I ain't gonna get any sleep tonight unless I know that it's been done right. And I got another bill to pay now, and you're threatening to turn off my lights. And it's better if I never get a letter from the government trying to take my life. But life's not fair. Life's not fair. I don't care. Life's not fair. Life's not fair. I don't care. Life's not fair.
Good song, man.
Thank you very much.
That's some funny shit, actually.
Yeah, that one actually, like I said, just came kind of naturally. It's very easy. I don't like to take a whole lot of credit for it, just because it's like, I mean, I know it's my song, but I wrote it super quick.
Valerie June.
I've never heard of Valerie June.
She is a great songwriter, and
Where's she
I've
from?
heard her in interviews. I think she's from Tennessee. She did not her last record, but the record before that, she did with Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys.
Okay.
Great record. Like, every song on it is great. But she said the same kind of thing. All her songs just come to her. She doesn't sit down and write them. Somebody just hands them to her. This is what I'm supposed to do now.
Well, if I might add, another process to writing, I will say, is that I've been hanging out with a lot of the same people for years now, and I'll hear certain people say things, and I will use them as one-liners in my songs. Or even Jimmy Clipper, he has sat down and helped me write some lyrics to some of my songs too. He's kind of been a ghostwriter in some of my songs, and I don't even think a lot of people really know unless I tell them, which I've told most people what lines he's written. But he's also good at putting things together in the right order, and like, if there's too many syllables, if there's not enough syllables.
He's very good at putting things together.
Yeah.
So, what kind of projects have you had in the past? I know you said you played with the Funnies a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Has it just been Travis Obermeyer since?
Okay, so, well, I played with the Traveling Jam off and on. I was going to practice with them for a while. I really actually enjoy playing with them. And they do a lot of different covers and some originals of their own, but and which Jeff Couch and Bob Russell, they have their own originals that they write.
I can imagine that's a lot of fun. Those guys are really good.
Yeah, I like playing with them, and they are good. They almost bringing back local bluegrass, and besides Rumpke Mountain Boys, but they're a whole different kind of bluegrass. It's more like like Rumpke's like trash grass, and they're kind of like, just decent garbage grass, I guess. I don't know. And so, but I love them to death. And they play my songs with me. And I play, or I'll play songs with them that are mine.
Yeah, I need to get a hold of some of the Rumpke Mountain guys. And get them on. I've been meaning to reach out to Bob as well.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that could definitely happen. Talk to the right person. So yeah, and basically the projects I've worked on were mainly just my own stuff, but the things that I let get out of the way were pretty much like recordings that I haven't finished yet. I went to Sonic Lounge and recorded with Joe Veers, and we did a song, Jimmy Clipper and I did, and Jason Hubbard and Josh Knickley got on there too, and Josh did the electric, the lead guitar. Jimmy did harmonies with me, and Jason did drums. And we never finished it yet because I couldn't go back there and
I've heard those recordings. They sound really good.
Yeah. You heard the Waste My Life Away, like a sneak preview one? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't even know where to find that right now.
To me, and you sent me some MP3s.
I did. Do you still have it?
I believe so.
Okay. That's cool because I can't even find it, but anyway. No, my Okay, if we're still talking about projects here, the only projects I have are me sitting down outside my tent in the backyard writing stuff on paper and just trying to write something new with this new guitar that I got. Which shout out to Duke Veteran for getting me a new guitar as a gift.
All right, dude.
Appreciate you.
So that's what you're up to now. You don't have really any recordings out?
The recordings that I have are I got Murphy. It's on YouTube. A song called Murphy. Uh, and that involves Jimmy Klepper, Jason Hubbard, Thomas Lawrence, all from the Funnies. Josh helped choreograph it all, and then we also have Bob. Bob did dobro, and then we had Dan Vito on the bass, and Mason did some percussion. Mason Thomas. Lamont Marshall was the one who recorded it. We actually had, it was an interesting day for that song because the power went out because of some storm. And so we had no way to, we're like, what are we going to do? And like, I don't know if their electric got cut off because of storm. Because it was storming, but I don't know why the neighbor had electric, but we ran an extension cord from over at Sonny's vape shop over to Lamont's and plugged in everything. And
that's over at Sugarfoot.
Yeah, Sugarfoot Productions.
The music store over there.
He's definitely moved. I don't know if he's actually got his studio set up yet again, but he had to move out of there. But we had a really. I felt like it was my birthday that day in the studio. I don't know why, but I was just feeling really good about that day. And but the song itself, I wrote it about this guy that we met in Michigan. It was actually not just about one guy. It was about several people, but it was also, and it pertains to myself too. And like the chorus when I'm talking about being, you know, just being like my own person and doing whatever the hell I want. And when we first met the guy, Murphy, who the songs originally, I guess, started to be about, was we were standing around the fire at this campsite that we were at in Illinois. And we were standing out there. Jimmy and all them, the Funnies, were supposed to play a show at Portage Theater. And it got canceled for whatever reason. It was just out of the blue, got canceled while we tried to show up and set up and everything. And the doors were just closed and locked, you know, and nobody could get in. And like they talked to some people, and then they like and gave us all some little rinky-dink like little gifts for just having to deal with it, I guess. And so we left, went back, and they were already supposed to play at the campground too. So the Funnies go to play at the campground, and we're out there playing and hanging out, and we're hanging by the fire. This kid comes up. He's got a ridiculous head full of dreads and like upside down cross tattooed on his forehead, and bottle caps are folded all up inside of his dreads. And he just was like one of those dudes that, you know, hops trains for, you know, forever. And so like he come up and stood by the fire, and he's a short little motherfucker, and Jimmy just looks at him and goes, "Hey, what's your name, Murphy?" And he goes, "My name's not Murphy. My name's Dan." So then we just started calling him Murphy. And and so that explains, I mean, I'm pretty much telling the entire story that I say in the song, that I sing in the song. But and so as time moves on, well, let's just talk about this Murphy guy for a second. So a couple days later, after we're still there, everybody had left. Me and, or should I say, Tyler and I were still there, and we decided to stay an extra night. And Murphy, wanted to come back, ride with us to Ohio because he wanted to go to Skatopia. And I was like, you ain't right. There ain't no room, dude. Like, we got a Miata, bro. You can't come with us. He's like, oh, I'll fit. That's fine, dude. I'll fit. And Tyler's like, no, you won't fit. You're not gonna fit. I'm not letting you fit in my car. And like, she's like, so then he went over and stuck his head in the cooler. This lady's cooler. He was like calling her mom and shit. And he didn't even know her that well. He was like, hey, mom, can I stick my head in your cooler? And he like opens the cooler, sticks his head in there. She's like, get your dirty ass, nasty hair out of my cooler. So then, yeah, we left that weekend. It was a miserable ride home. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but so the second verse of that song was about another guy that I met in Colorado while we was hiking up the mountain. Me and Thomas Lawrence's brother, Chris Lawrence, which I miss you, buddy. We were hiking up the hill, and this New Yorkian dude, he was like skinny as me. Probably can't see me right now, but he was pretty skinny. And he was walking up the mountain with us, and he was like, you guys got plenty of water? And I was like, we got like 2 gallons. He's like, well, you're going to need more than that. And we're like, all right. And he tells us his name was Victor. Then like a week or not even a week later, he's like showing us his thing he got from a job interview or something that he got back from them, and it had his full name on it. His name was Richard. So I was like, your name's not even Richard, motherfucker. Your name is Victor. I'm like, you're lying, because he was like lying to us a couple times just trying to be cool. So anyway, I'm gonna shorten this up by saying the song is about people who aren't really the people who we thought they were or said they were. And then it turns into being, you know, a really heartfelt song if you really listen to the chorus.
It's all fun and games until
Yeah. It's all fun and games until someone calls you the wrong
until
name.
Dick becomes Victor.
Because Dick can be Richard, but not Victor.
Let's take a break and have a listen to Murphy.
All right.
I met a guy and his name was Murphy. I later found out that his name was Dan. That fella there, he was in no hurry. Never really cared, he never had no plans. In his mind, he knew it, he was trying, and I wouldn't have it any other way. He rode around on an off-the-range skateboard with bottle cap folded up in his dress. And he loved to hold to my in the very palm of his hands for all he'll do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because I spent a lot of time trying to figure out who I am. And it doesn't really matter, cause the time has snuck on past. And a lot of those days I was sitting on my ass at home. But I know I'm free at last. Whoa, 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 whoa. I ran into a guy and his name was Victor. Later found out somehow his name was fucking Richard. And that guy there was cheating and lying. Don't know why it had to be that way. In his heart I knew what he desired, and I couldn't have it any other day. And he loved to hold to my in the very palm of his hands for all he'll do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because I spent a lot of time trying to figure out who I am. And it doesn't really matter, cause the time has not gone past. And a lot of those days I was sitting on my ass at home, but I know I'm free at last. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out who I am. And it doesn't really matter, cause the time has not gone past. And a lot of those days I was sitting on my ass at home, but I know I'm free at last. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cause he knows he's free at last. Cause he knows he's free at last. Cause he knows he's free at last. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Great song.
Thank you very
That's
much.
some funny shit, especially after hearing the story.
Yeah. Yeah. That whole weekend that I wrote that song about was an interesting weekend. Like I said, it was a long drive home. I'll tell you that. I was very dehydrated. Had a panic attack, and it took us 11 hours to get from Chicago to Cincinnati, which is
Like a
does
4-hour
not
drive.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long.
It happens.
Yeah.
So you mentioned writing with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Do you write with anybody else?
I have. I think a lot of the people that I've written with, it's been very minuscule amount of writing, but Jimmy is the only person I've actually like kind of written like full songs with and gotten things done. Cause like I said, we've done a lot of hip hop back in the day too, and that was some of my favorite stuff we did. And Thomas Lawrence, I've written, I wrote a song with him that Jimmy helped out on writing lyrics with as well. And every time Thomas is around, and he just plays, the guitar, the rhythm, and I'll do the vocals and sing stuff.
There's something to be said about finishing stuff.
Yeah, I know it's
That's always the hard part.
The thing is like I'll jump to another song because I'll get so tired of writing and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that one song. So I'll just like take a break from it and move on to a different one, and I'll like the other one better, and then not finish the other one or something like that.
Well, I find lots of projects in general that people start working on just never get finished.
It's all part of songwriting now, man. And you probably know that as well. I mean,
right. Well, it's part of songwriting. It's part of recording.
Yeah.
It's just a part of all of it. But
I don't want it to be something that's not like if I don't think it's good in my ears, then I don't think other people are gonna like it. But I'm wrong about that sometimes because I don't really need to be. It doesn't have to sound great to me. It needs to sound like myself, but I want other people to be able to listen to it and not have to pick it apart.
Right. Well, some of the stuff that I find that some of the stuff that people write isn't necessarily the stuff that they like, isn't necessarily what other people like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a thing because, like, you ever go on YouTube and you look at the comments on some people's music, it's like, people are being nasty and hateful, and guess what? There's, what, 100 million likes and 36 dislikes, so those people can just go to hell.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's welcome to their opinion,
Right.
but
in my opinion,
I don't
I
see
think they
any
should
reason
just
to
go
be
to hell.
nasty because somebody put out a piece of art. It's pretty shitty to get nasty over somebody else's piece of art.
Yeah.
If you don't
If you don't like it,
just
you
don't listen to it.
listen to it,
That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So, how do you find the time to write?
Well, I think how I find the time is when what I do is when I'm not working, which I work different kinds of jobs. It's just day labor stuff and like with doing roofing, and I've done carpet for 6 years. So when I have time when I'm off work, I'll just sit there and I'll just write something that there's be certain moods where I'm in where like I don't think I can really write something, but I do want to play my guitar. There was times where I'll sit there and I'll find like the motive, like there'll be something in me just comes out, and like I said, it comes out of thin air sometimes. Like I don't even know where it comes from, but I just am able to do it. And but I think I find it all through other influences through music. It's like I'll listen to something and I'll just be like, oh, that's really cool. Like maybe I should do something similar to that, but I'll try not to like also be the same exact way because nobody wants to rip somebody else's music off. But that's the point of music is to influence and help people create new ideas about whether or not it's music or their life. So I've kind of turned that into being able to make my own thing out of what I've heard.
Do you have any kind of regiment? Like, do you have I'm going to sit down and write songs at this time?
No, I don't.
Never set any time?
Whenever it comes to me, like, there's a lot of times I'll like be like kind of buzzed or whatever, and I'll get kind of like this thing about me where I'm like, I need to play some music because I know that people here will like it and they've never heard it, but I don't know why that gives me so much joy for someone else to hear my music. That I think it's because I know that they can relate. When someone else relates to it or cries and listening to it, it makes me feel good because I know they're feeling the same thing when they hear it, or they're like going through the same thing. So
pretty awesome to move somebody emotionally.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
and that's one of the main reasons I do it is because it makes me feel good that other people feel good, or that they can like just kind of get real sappy and understand it.
Right. Where do you find that happening most? Like I know you play a lot of parties and a lot of get-togethers. You also do a lot of bar gigs.
Yeah, we play a lot of different get-togethers, and I'd say I think most of my influence comes from like the where I find it actually happening at is when I'm alone. I have no distractions. I can sit there all I want and play music that I already have written or know about, and you can just play that all day long. But to actually sit down and write a song, I have to be really thinking about something without somebody saying, hey, what are you doing? Or, hey, ask me a question. So like, and I'm always around people. So that's a big deal for me. It's like when I'm alone, that's my songwriting time. And I just recently I got this guitar, so it's like before that I didn't really like have the motive to to try to even write anything 'cause I didn't have a guitar. Like I could write poems, I guess, all I want, but now that I can sit down and just make a sound, past couple weeks I just been really trying at it, and it's usually when I'm not around the people, and if I'm around other musicians who write and are good, with um sitting there and listening and not distracting me at the same time, then I can do it. I can write songs and I can relate to what they want to say too. Because like Jimmy and we write songs together sometimes. But it's like there's nobody else I'd rather do it with. I don't think because it's just too much distraction when it's one other person around you.
Right. You can't get everybody focused on.
Yeah, it's like I can't hear somebody in the background talking to someone else and laughing and joking while I'm trying to like really put something together.
How do you deal with that at gigs?
Well, like I said, if I've already got it, if it's already there, if it's already written.
I mean, I find it a problem to perform at a gig when somebody's on the phone and they
Well,
got their
I
Facebook.
block that all out. I act like no one's there. Because half the time my eyes are closed anyway when I'm singing. So, and
So you're not worried about what's going on in the room
I don't
anyway.
care. I mean, I want people to relate and hear it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, of course.
But if I'm just standing up there and singing and all these people I know that there's at least one person out there who's really sitting there paying attention and listening and getting what they need from it, and I'm getting what I need from giving it to them because it's a whole it's a universal language. Music is, and if you've got it right, you know how to channel that the music the right way, then other people will. You could play just a certain uh, variety of chords, and people will feel that same way that you do because you're just given that feeling. It's a feeling.
The back and forth makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
So we got one more song coming up. It's Red River Love. Tell me about that.
Well, Red River Love is a song that it kind of stemmed from Red River Gorge is a place that we all love to go to and just hike and climb and get a little buzzed and just yell and howl at the moon and all that. So, and it's one of the places I end up going to a lot. It's in Kentucky. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. It's out in Slade, Kentucky. We ended up one night going out onto a ridge called Chimney Rock, and we went out there. We took a laptop and some instruments and the keyboard and all that. We were sitting there playing music and we kind of had like a bunch of random jams going on, which are recorded somewhere, which are actually pretty cool. Because we recorded them there, and then by the end of the night, I kind of like took it all serious, and it was like I was kind of getting my own mind a little bit, like about life and about things, and so I decided to write this song about the place, the Red River Gorge, but it also veers off into once again my own life kind of encounters, and this is once again another one. A couple of the lyrics that Jimmy helped me out with, and you just never know what life is going to bring you, and that place has actually given me a lot of comfort and a lot of it's almost like a home away from home. Like I felt like I was in my own backyard. So the song basically represents us being us being free and not having to worry about nothing, and you know, having the love for nature and the love that nature gives back to you without you even noticing. And I guess I, didn't want to get too far into it, but when your mind's a little twisted and bent, you get to see the real, true, bright things of what the universe has to offer. And that's one of the most beautiful places I've been to. So that's what that song revolves around. And I think we kind of, that weekend was a major reason for me to write a good song. And it just like I said, it just came out of all of us just being together, and there was not a bad moment. There was not a bad anything.
Nice. Well, let's have a listen.
All right, cool.
Come with me through the forest I love to see the clearest view of the skies above. The path you walk was made for you. Well, some don't know this, but that's the truth. For the answers at home, but we'll never find them if we're all controlled. So here we are, now's our time to get exactly what we came to find. Up your eyes, I said, open up your eyes, because I'm dancing in the moonlight. I'm standing by the stars. I twist the rays between my fingers and I play the music with my heart. And when you're here, you're so apart from all the things you know. You realize there's more to life. You can feel it in your bones. Well, I don't know where I am, but I don't care, 'cause I'm still here. And all my way I have learned that I can stay the same. And all my days I will learn. I'll be on vacation every day. Whoa, open up your eyes. I said, open up your eyes, because I'm dancing in the moonlight. I'm standing by the stars. I twist the rays between my fingers and I play the music with my heart. And when you're here, you're so apart from all the things you know. You realize there's more to life. You feel it in your bones. I'm dancing in the moonlight, standing by the stars. I'm not far away from all the things I need today. Well, I'm not hopeless or broken down, and I'm not far away from all the things I need today. And I'm not hopeless, and I don't know how, and I'm not far away from all the things I need today. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
All right, good stuff, man.
Thank you, thank you.
So, little rapid fire questioning. What's your influences?
My influence,
I know
Jimmy
you
Klepper.
No, you said Neil Young.
Neil Young has always been one of them. For some reason, I feel like the Grateful Dead is like one of my favorite bands, and so is Pink Floyd. It's between those two. And I don't sound nothing like them, but they have definitely influenced me to want to play music, I guess. And I think that there's a little bit of something in that that makes me want to continue playing the way I do. And then there's also, like Ben Queller. He's really good. Really like. And then I want to say like Band of Horses and Dr. Dog. Let's say even some bluegrass folks too, like Travis McCurry's and stuff. Like Billy Strings has been an influence on me, even though he's only been out for so long. Like I feel like one of my songs derived from that. I think from just listening to him.
He's got a definite unique sound.
Yeah, I liked Howard Shoulders a lot too, but I don't think that none of my music sounds like any of the people that I've named off, but they definitely all give me that sense of comfort in what I'm playing.
Nice. So, who's your favorite local bands?
Favorite local band? I mean, I definitely want to say See You in the Funnies because I don't know any other local band that's any better than them. I don't. I mean, I couldn't tell you. They definitely leave you with the song stuck in your head every day.
Nice. I can definitely see that. What's your favorite venue to play?
Favorite venue? My favorite venue I've played at personally was I like Stanley's a lot. I played there a lot. I haven't played a whole lot of bigger venues, but I would think that my favorite place would probably be Stanley's, just because there's a lot of good talent in there, a lot of good people, and they're not just there to party most of the time. They're there to enjoy the music, and I've seen a lot of good music and met a lot of good people. The crowd is always awesome. So shout out to Stanley's for keeping it real because they know exactly how to do it when it comes to bringing people. So it's like, you pick and choose whether or not these people are going to play here, and they've done a good job so far not having, the wrong people play there, or not necessarily wrong people, but for our kind of crowd. I'll say I played in a few different places that are not like anything like that. But I played in Nashville, this rinky dink bar down there, and it was like, it just wasn't even nowhere near compared to anywhere I played out here. I definitely dig Ohio. I'd like to play other places, but um, my alongside of the favorite venue, my favorite place so far has been Ohio. I mean, I played in Colorado, and I liked, you know, I liked where I was at. I liked the people, but I don't think that it was, it wasn't homey enough for me, So,
Yeah.
well, Stanley's Pub, Watering Hole.
There you go. What's the best song you've written?
To me, the best song I've written, I think, might be Red River Love. Honestly, I can't, unless someone else has something else to say about it, but I think that's one of my best songs. Not my favorite to play. I mean, I like playing it. I love getting into it, but I try to. I think like the happier songs and stuff that I write, or the more uppity, whatever you want to call it, those kind of songs are really like, they get everybody going. But like, to me, it's most important when the crowd's quiet and no one's saying shit, because they're just fucking sitting there listening.
Yeah.
And they're really listening to what I'm saying. And so I think Red River Love really captures the audience, and I think that's why because it's about feeling your whole self, about where you're at in life, and like why you're here, what you're doing. And so I think that that's definitely one of my favorite ones myself, especially to play. I think it's fun to play.
Good deal. Where can people find you at?
Well, if you want to find me, you just come in the backyard, 3770 State Route 132. I'm just kidding. If you want to find me, you can go on Facebook, type in my full name. It's Travis Obermeyer. Not with a V, with a B as in boy. I've got a bunch of random stuff on there, and I've got one good recorded one, which is kind of sad for me to say because I've been playing for way too long for that to happen, but I'm working on it. I've also got some stuff in the works too that, if Thomas will release it here soon, or maybe mix it down. We've got some hip hop stuff. So,
Nice.
And it's a mixture between hip hop and R&B. So it's me singing and rapping and stuff, as you would call it. But yeah, you can find me on YouTube, and other than that, you can't find me on anywhere else unless it's Facebook.
Nice. Thanks for coming out.
No, thank you for having me, man. I
really appreciate it. It's
I
been a
really
good time.
do. Yeah, it was a great time.
Thanks for sticking around till the end. Like I said, I had an absolute blast that day. It was a really good time. Be sure and check out the next episode. My guest will be Jimmy Klepper from See You in the Funnies. If you'd like to talk about the show or book some studio time, you can get a hold of me at manhoundsound@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook. Please stop by and give us a like. Until next time, I'm Bill Wardlow. This has been ManHound Sound Sessions.